Like and subscribe.
Welcome back to the We Don't Upload Ever podcast.
Oh
Holy
yeah,
shit, dude! It's been what, a
a
month
month,
since the
something
last
like
one
that.
came out.
A whole ass
Uh,
month.
this is
Happy
episode
Three,
two.
two. The first
Two.
one was a fluke.
Number two.
Number
Whoop.
dos.
Ooh.
Holy shit, dude! We have so many topics to go over. This is gonna be a long podcast. We might even split this up into
A,
two
long
different
as in
episodes.
an
Honestly,
hour.
we might have to split this up into two episodes if we want to.
We don't have to use them all at
No.
once.
True.
I don't want to go for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We can save
Definitely
them.
not, dude. It's fucking 1 in the morning.
Hey, bro, it don't matter.
Yeah, dude.
We're
I
It
for a
got
do
good
matter.
time.
I'd be leaving halfway
We're
through.
here for a good time, not a long time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think we just start at this. Just cause, and just kind of roll into this. Avery, I know this is a big topic for you, bud. The FNAF film.
Yes.
We watched the trailer together a while back off cam. The only problem I have with it is the eyeballs, the red eyes. I don't like it, but
I think it's for like a certain mode of the animatronics it could be when it comes out. But there is hate towards it, but you gotta know we've been waiting 8 years for it, so you gotta appreciate what we get.
this is
Why do you
true.
sound like a coach talking his team up after a loss?
Thanks, James. Thanks,
After
James.
they've lost every game throughout the season, it's the last game of the season. No, yeah, but I also saw some of that behind the scenes footage of
Yes.
that mall scene, dude. That shit's gonna be
Mhm.
brutal.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great, especially when the fight happens.
What turn do you guys think they're gonna take? Do you think they're gonna take it more of like a game side, or more of just like a William lore type thing?
I feel like they're gonna take it with the lore side and the game side. Obviously, the game is FNAF, but the game is also focused a lot on the lore. I just feel like it's gonna be a mix of the two. I don't feel like it's gonna be within 5 nights. I feel like it's gonna be one.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
Yeah. I feel like the game or the movie itself is gonna be one night instead of 5. Something
The
like
whole
what they did
title
with...
of the film
I know,
is
I
Five
understand
Nights at
that.
Freddy's.
I know, I understand that, but
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I forget what it was, but I watched a video that had a very good theory about it, and it was how the main storyline is going to be lore based with hints of the game, like the guard will go into his office and he'll have to, like shut the doors and shit and make sure he doesn't lose power. But also you have lore things where William and Henry are involved. And Henry, that was his business partner's name, right?
are we? Yeah, it was. Are we gonna have him in the movie? Was it confirmed?
Henry or William?
Henry.
Henry, I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to have Henry in this film. I know we're gonna have William though, because he is casted.
Yeah. I really don't want to dig too deep in the lore because we'd be here for hours, but
it seems interesting. I think we need to get more into, because that was just a teaser trailer. That wasn't a real trailer. I think once the real trailer comes out, we can get a little bit more information out of what's going on, and we'll see what happens when the movie comes out. But
yeah,
it'll be interesting. Let's see here. So, did you guys end up buying that boat or no?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you guys were planning on buying a boat, right?
We showed up to the dude's house the day he told us to. Oh my god, he was weird. He wanted me to go shopping with him the next day. And I'm like, what? No. But anyways, the boat, he said, yeah, you can buy it online for about $300, but if you want it right now, I'll give it to you for $1,000. And I'm like, that boat's probably been used for 20 years or so. Ain't no way in hell we're gonna buy it for $1,000 off of him. And it's just a little plastic boat.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sent a picture in it of it in the group chat, and
he took a shit picture in it.
He took a picture in it.
Yeah, it was just it looked fucking disgusting. Like somebody fucking chewed it up and spat it back out or
I
something.
actually didn't even see the picture. We'll have to
I
get
was
that
gonna say, like,
for the
yeah,
episode.
whoever is editing this, go find the picture of it in the channel and put it somewhere in the video.
Do we really want to jump into this whole concert thing, or
Look at
Yeah,
my
let's
look
hear
I
at
it.
mean, we
Let's
might
hear
as
it.
Oh yeah, for
well.
sure.
this
look
Yeah.
at my
I want
username.
to know it. I want to know about it.
Okay, so in Florida, there's this big rock festival called Welcome to Rockville. They do it every year out in Daytona and inside of the Daytona Speedway. I've gone to this was my second one I've gone to, and the first one was 2 years ago. Um, I went and saw a bunch of bands there, and that was basically my equivalent to what I had in Ohio called Rock on the Range. This was basically the Florida equivalent, and then also it's ran by the same people. So I went to my first one. I had a great time. They actually moved it to November instead of May because of the pandemic. This was during 2021. And then 2022, I could not go because I was graduating high school. That one was a shit show and was like rained out for a majority of the days. So it was a good thing I didn't end up going to that one. Roll around to 23s, which was this past May. Went to that one. And before I continue with the story, I need to pull up the lineup because I completely forgot. The way that these concerts work is that they're promoted as for a Thursday to Sunday show line. They do have shows on Wednesday, which is for campers. They have access to that stuff early. So, kind of like lesser known bands on like the rise type thing. So, my brother who lives in Ohio, he flew down on Tuesday. And then me, my dad, and my brother, we drove to our friend's house who was going with us, and then we picked him up, and then we went to Daytona. That was Wednesday morning. So we got there, and we were kind of just setting up, just hanging out. There was no one really we planned on seeing that day, so we were just kind of hanging around and chilling. And then Thursday rolled around, which was a good ease. It was kind of just like a nice chill day that led up to like the peak for Friday and Saturday that kind of like led down to a chill day for Sunday. So Thursday was slam packed. I wish I had the actual like layout of how these played out, but they took that down. They just had whoever played. So going through these names, I wanted to see Blackstone Cherry. That was the first band that I wanted to see, and I didn't end up seeing them. I think because the rain had like just hit, and so they had to either cancel their show, or by the time we would have made it, they then shut down the stages, which kind of sucked. But by the time that the stages were turned back on, Bullet for My Valentine started playing, so we got to see them a little bit. But that day for me, it was just Pussifer, which is the Tool's lead singer. He's one of his like spin-off bands that he does. He was the first show that I ended up seeing. He was actually really good. That entire band was actually surprisingly good, and I've never even seen him before. So it's nice to go to a festival and see bands that you've never seen before, you've never even heard of before, and then you just end up liking their music. That's kind of the whole point of what these festivals are anyway. And then it led into Rob Zombie, who I've actually saw from my first Rockville show, and he was just as good as he was the first time. I have some pictures and some videos of some of these shows that I went and saw, so if it makes sense to throw them in, I'll throw them in also.
But
And then
anyways,
after Rob Zombie was Slipknot. I was exhausted from Zombie Show that I didn't even go see Slipknot. I was so tired. I was like,
bro, how do you not go and see
dude,
Slipknot?
I was sweating my ass off. I was so tired. I skipped Slipknot to just go to sleep. I
Nah,
was
you should have full sent it. You didn't full send it.
Nah, dude. There was no shot, and I smelled because I needed a shower. Rolling in from Thursday night and Friday morning, the shows usually don't start until like 1 or 2 p.m. Because everyone is either sleeping or hammered. and so everyone just wakes up super late. This day was probably my favorite day, to be honest. Mostly because of a cancellation on Saturday, which I'll get to. But Friday, for me, was Avenged Sevenfold, Evanescence, Hardy, um, I Prevail, Sleeping with Sirens, Bad Flower, Aaron Jones, a bunch of other bands that were playing. Motionless in White was there, but I didn't see them because I heard that their shows are pretty fucked up, so I skipped out on that one. I Prevail, I ended up just missing out on because we were like eating dinner and we just lost track of time, so I didn't get to see him. But I saw Hardy, and low-key was actually probably my third favorite show that I've ever been to. And
Damn.
the lead
That says
singer,
something.
yeah, and the lead singer of A Day to Remember came out because he has a song with him, and he's also from Florida. So he came out to do the song that he has with Hardy because A Day to Remember is also not touring at the moment. I don't think their tours start until 2024 or something like that. They're taking like a year off.
Cool.
After Hardy was Evanescence, who was surprisingly really good. Amy Lee can still sing, and was phenomenal that entire show. And I was eating pizza, which was also extremely good. So great combination there. Avenged Sevenfold was the final show for Friday. They were really good. The only problem I had was the fact that they had cut their show off like 45 minutes, and no one really knew why. They just ended the show after like an hour and 15 minutes, and that kind of pissed me off a little bit. But they played all the
Yeah, because it's
songs.
like you're paying money for that.
Yeah,
And
but
it's like they
they
just
had,
gotta
I
end it
mean,
early
to
like
be
that.
fair, they played all the songs that I wanted them to play, but it just felt like it
Still
didn't.
went
sucks you
off
didn't get to see the
early?
whole show.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
played all the songs that I wanted them to play, but then they cut the show off like 45 minutes
Wow.
early.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
Yeah, and so there was like the singer seemed fine, like everyone seemed fine. It's not like it was like a medical thing. They just ended the show, which they can do. They're allowed to do that. But
No, they aren't.
no, you
They're not
have to
allowed.
play the whole show.
You have to play the whole show.
But I wasn't too worried about it. It just felt the only thing I think the thing that bothered me the most about that was the fact that it wasn't like a transition out and then it ended. It would just ended. Like their song was over, they waved by and fucking left. So that was a little annoying. But after Avenged Sevenfold, that leads us into Saturday. Saturday was it was little amount of bands but big bands. So not as many shows and not as many people I wanted to see, but the bands were way more well known than some of the days that I had were more bands I wanted to see. So this one was going to start with Alter Bridge, but Alter Bridge ended up canceling because the lead singer had like some stomach issue or something like that. So he had some stomach bug, so that kind of delayed my shows off. But then this then started with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin evening. That was actually surprisingly really good. They actually sounded a lot like Zeppelin, and was not what I was expecting at all. From that, I was like, okay, he's a big name and he's on the big stage, so they'll have to be good. But they weren't. They were better than I was expecting them to be, even though they had the big name. And then that eventually led into Chevelle, who I saw during my first Rockville also. But the lead singer was sick. He still came out during that show, but you could tell he was sick. His throat sounded all scratched up. But they performed way better than the first time I saw him during this show. After Chevelle led into Alice Cooper, considering his age, was phenomenal. He sounded just like his albums. He put on a fantastic show, arguably better than Rob Zombie, because Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper are big performance guys. They're not big into like their actual music. Alice Cooper crushed it, dude. He was phenomenal. he even brought his wife out for a bit too, and they performed well together. Also, it was so cool to see.
That's cool.
And then after
Sure.
Alice Cooper came in with Godsmack, who I had seen
Oh
at
yeah, you
a
were talking
98
about
Rock Fest, which is kind of a smaller. It's like a one, like if Rockville was one day and only had like 4 bands. That's basically what it is. Um, and I got to see them the first time within the stage. Like I could have high fived the singer when he was walking on the stage. It was crazy. And then I got guitar picks from that show. But from this show, they played even better. They did the same. They didn't do the same, but they did a better version of their drum battle that they usually do. They played AC/DC covers. They played Black Sabbath covers. Uh, they played a
Didn't they
bunch of
play Enter Sandman as well?
yeah, they played Metallica covers also. They played a lot of 80s and kind of like early 90s covers on top of the music they already played. They encored. Their show was probably the best
Cool.
performance out of any of the bands that
Cool.
from this, but they've always been great showmen. And then to go from Godsmack,
And then the big one.
and then to go from Godsmack to Pantera after that was crazy because Pantera had not performed in years because of the singer being off doing his own thing with another band, the loss of a few band members. If you guys don't know, the original guitarist was
Dimebag.
yeah he was shot and killed on stage during a performance, and then 10 years later, during the break period, their drummer had passed away. I believe from cardiac arrest. I think some something around that. I think it was a heart condition. I don't remember. But he had passed away then. They did a whole. This was their third performance back together as a band. All the original guys, except for, of course, the new drummer, the new guitarist, performed amazing. Absolutely shined, and you could feel the presence of the old band members coming through their performance. It was amazing. They had tributes to the past band members also. They were just all around amazing, and that's not a band that you're gonna see or have the opportunity to see very often, especially because of that big break. It was nuts, and it was surprisingly it was the first time that my dad had actually seen Pantera. A lot of the bands that I've seen, he's already seen before. So to witness a band like Pantera for the first time with another person who's big in that area also seeing them for the first time was really cool. After Pantera, I think I even called you guys after that show too. After Pantera led into Sunday, which was the final day of shows, uh, definitely a big, nice, chill, relaxed day before you leave Monday morning. This started off with Pennywise, who I didn't end up seeing, uh, just because I had already seen them before from my first Rockville. So I was like, okay, this is a band that I could kind of get away with not going to see. Then for me, it was Incubus. Incubus, we all know from Drive, that's their big song. Their songs in Surf's Up, that old Penguin movie from like 2014. That's mostly their big song, but they have a bunch of other songs that are well known also. Also, big surprise from the age. They're considering, the singer's age, he still sounds phenomenal, which is what I love about a lot of these bands is that even though they're so much older than when they peaked and were super well known then, and on that rise, they still sound as good as they do, 10, 20, 30 years later. And that is where it ended for me. I was so exhausted from those days. Deftones and Tool came out after that, but I was so exhausted from Saturday that I literally went back to the RV after Incubus and just went to bed. I was so tired from that, but it was a great experience, and the weather like I was surprised actually held considering it's Florida, and I'm absolutely going back for 2024. And I cannot wait to see whatever that lineup's gonna be because it's gonna be fucking nuts.
Next on the list, let's go on.
Well, we can channel this back into gaming, because
yes,
that's our thing.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 is releasing soon-ish, kind of. I don't know when the
Kind
release
of.
date is.
Mortal Kombat 1
Within the
is
next few months.
releasing. Let me look. If it will fucking
1976.
show.
Yeah, the
September
arcade.
It
19th.
released 40 years
Oh
ago.
yeah. Okay, so it's coming out in
Middle
September
of
along
September.
with
September.
Payday 3. So,
Ooh.
Ooh, let's go
September's
some
gonna be a good month for
Payday
Ooh.
3.
games.
Oh
dude,
September's gonna be a
yeah.
good
we
month for
had
games.
in terms of just gaming lineup for the end of this year it's stacked, man. We got
Dude,
Starfield, bro.
I
we
am
have
still playing
Starfield.
Tears of the
Starfield
Kingdom
looks
Yeah, you
and
got
nuts.
Starfield. Yeah, it's gonna be
Starfield.
nuts.
You got
Payday
Payday 3. You got
2.
Spider-Man 2.
Wait.
The new
Um,
Fable
Mortal
remake.
Kombat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
Mortal Kombat.
Fable remastered.
The Fable remake.
We got a
Eh.
lot of good games coming
I
out.
love Fable.
Who doesn't like Fable?
I
It's
think I
such a
saw
good
one or
game.
two like indie games that looked pretty nice, but I can't remember the names of them.
Do we know any
Boyfriend Dungeon 2.
Do we know any confirmed characters within the new Mortal Kombat game? Of course, your typical Raiden, Sub-Zero,
Actually,
But
yeah,
is it Raiden
the four
Young?
characters that were in the beta were Liu Kang, Kenshi, Kitana, and Sub-Zero. Those were the main characters, like the playable characters.
Yeah.
And then the three cameo characters were Kano, Jax, and Sonya.
Okay.
Okay, is
So
this like a whole
Jackson-
Here,
remake?
I'm reading
Because
this
they
off
look
of a
young.
random ass website.
I think it's a reboot.
A reboot?
All
Reboot,
confirmed.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
much a reboot.
Yeah,
Okay.
apparently like they reset the Mortal Kombat timeline according
They
to like
did,
the
yeah.
Mortal Kombat lore. And
Yeah,
so that's
Mortal
why they
Kombat
bring it back
11.
to Combat 1.
Does that mean we get
So-
even more shitty movies?
I would
I don't know.
hope
I
so,
don't
One
think
more
because
I would
before we
I
hope
don't
die.
care.
so.
Even if they're
Yeah.
bad, I'd
I
enjoy
don't think
them,
the movies
probably.
were canon to the game timeline anyway.
The newest one, no, absolutely not.
Here's the roster. So we got confirmed characters and confirmed cameos. Johnny Cage, Kenshi, Katana, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Melina, Raiden, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, and Sub-Zero. And then
Katana man
cameos
over here.
Goro, Jax Briggs, Kano, Kung Lao, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya Blade, and Striker.
No, Striker's
Ha
cameo
ha, he's a
character.
fucking cameo character. Fuck
Fuck.
you, bitch.
Who do you guys main?
I haven't played Mortal Kombat in like 5 years. And like,
Striker.
Well, because
Katana, bro.
I didn't play MK9.
I played 10.
I played a lot of X and a lot of 11. In X, I played Ermac.
At least
And
you're
then-
not an alien spammer. Jeez.
No, I played Ermac. And then in 11, I played a lot of characters, but it was mainly Liu Kang and like Kung Lao.
My first game was Mortal Kombat 7. And then I played a little bit of 8. I played some X. I played some 11. And that's really been it. But I think I would say that my main would probably be Cage.
Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who I played. I think I played
What?
Jax.
I played
Jax is
Striker
not
when he
bad.
was a playable character. Then I played Jax in 11. And I think I played
Maybe Kano.
Smoke or like something like that.
I think I played Kano more, but whatever.
Well, you know what is a current fighting game that is out right now is Street Fighter 6.
Dude,
HA and G,
Street
you
Fighter
two
6
have been
is
playing that a
so
lot.
it is
It's
so
really fun.
fucking fun. I love the game so much.
It's actually really good.
Ryan,
and
from
I
the bottom of
wanna
my
pick it up.
heart, please buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
I
I'm
gotta
begging on
get
my hands
paid
and knees.
first, man. I gotta get paid
It's
first. I get paid
okay.
at the end of the week.
It's okay.
It's not okay. It's really good.
It's
Pretty
okay.
good.
It's really good.
I give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
I give it at least a 9. It's. I don't like Street Fighter.
It is,
I
yeah,
don't like
because
fighting games, but it's a really good game.
it is literally the future of fighting games.
Yes. You know what's the game I want very badly?
I want Marvel
Would
versus Capcom, but a really good
Fighters
one.
2.
Oh, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah,
a
You
Fighters
yeah,
2.
cannot
They did
lie.
confirm that, right?
I thought so.
Yeah, I thought they did, but I don't know. We might have gotten a trailer. I could be wrong about that though.
I'm not sure. I know.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6, a lot of fun.
We could also talk about a game that is really heading backwards right now and going back
I know
to
what
what
you're
it
gonna
used to
talk
be.
about.
Oh,
Overwatch 2
yep.
is really falling apart right now.
Yeah.
It's starting to revert back to the original Overwatch, except you only have one tank. That's really what it's just been turning into. The
Yeah.
So
recent
dog shit
update
now.
has turned May back into like slowing characters down.
Yep.
The
And
grenade is
Cassidy's
big stuns
grenade.
with that.
Yeah,
His
they're
grenade is
Wait, what
absolutely
grenade?
broken.
Who got a grenade?
Cassidy's okay, so Cassidy had a stun grenade in Overwatch 1
Yeah, he
with
had
his
his stun, and
flashbang.
then he had his
And
tracking
then
bomb or
it
whatever.
changed in Overwatch 2 to a magnetic grenade, which
Yeah.
just does extra damage. And they changed it now. They nerfed the damage. However, you can just chuck that thing as far as
Yeah,
you
it
want.
has
It has
heat-seeking
a 1
capabilities now.
second basically period of it will track down whoever's nearby.
What?
And
As long
it
as it's in the
prevents
air.
movement abilities as long as it's in the area. And it prevents movement abilities and hinders them for like 30% of their movement speed
that
or
is
something
like
like
10
I
times
want to
worse
get
than his
back into it
flashbang.
because I had
It's really
thousands of
not though.
hours on
Once
it.
you start playing it and you understand how it works, it's actually better than
that. Oh
his
yeah,
flashbang used
it's
to be.
annoying as shit though to play against.
Yeah, oh for
All right,
sure.
boys,
For
boys.
someone who plays
Oh,
Overwatch
God.
24/7.
Yeah.
I can't.
I gotta know who you have the most hours on and how many hours is that. I need to know.
Hanzo, and it's like
I'll say
Right?
mine last.
I don't even know.
I'll say
Y'all are
mine
gonna judge
last.
me
You
hard
do
for
not
this,
want me to
bro.
answer this question, dude.
It's just
Bro, you're
Diva.
fine. I'm not fine.
Michael's
I
I'm
don't
gonna
number
even
save
one.
know
mine
my
for last.
answer.
I
People are gonna
guarantee I have the
hate
most
me.
hours on some
Okay,
of y'all.
okay,
I don't
okay.
even know my
Alright, let's go
answer.
around. Let's go around.
G,
Okay.
who do you think yours is?
Oh, I know mine's Hanzo.
Yeah, the Rizzler.
Do you miss
Really?
Scatter Arrow?
Yes.
Dude, Scatter Arrow was the goat, bro.
I miss Scatter
Yeah.
Arrow, but I also don't miss Scatter Arrow because that
I'm
was
glad
just
it's
a
gone
one
because I would
shot.
die to
Scatter
it a
Arrow
lot
is
too.
a
But
ability
like,
that you miss using, but do not miss playing against.
for real, my home shizzle.
For real.
All right, Ryan.
AJ, what do you think about yours, bro?
AJ.
Yeah.
I was having trouble with it for a minute, but then I was like, Winston.
Really?
You do actually play a lot
He
of
plays a
Winston.
lot of
Winston,
Monkey.
but then
honestly-
like towards the end, where like I was getting to like the end of my Overwatch phase, I started playing Reaper more.
You know what I could do
Yeah.
right now? I can pull up Overwatch and I can look at your career profile.
Ooh, do it.
I think Winston will be my most played, and then
I know Hanzo will be
probably
mine.
Well,
Reaper.
Cassidy would have to be in there because you played a lot of him.
You
back
did
in
actually play a
01.
lot of him.
I remember I made him leave the party one day on accident.
You know what? AJ, I bet you have a lot of hours on Soldier.
I think I do, yeah. I also played a lot of Soldier.
That's a soldier.
Simple,
that's a AJ
simple.
Like after I don't know, like I just
Look at
one
this
day I
shit.
just couldn't play. I couldn't play good as Winston. Like I stopped playing good.
Winston.
So then I was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna switch
I
to
hit my
damage,
head
and then I
on
started playing Soldier and
I
Reaper.
became a Winston player.
You were actually right. You did play Winston the most.
Yep.
Michael, what is yours?
Monkey.
Is it Hog? It's Hog, right?
That's hard.
It's
Probably
Hog,
Hog,
130
yeah.
hours.
That's
Damn.
not bad
And
compared
people
to
are gonna
mine.
flame me for that shit.
And
No,
Like,
mine's
everyone hates
worse.
Hog.
how do you
Mine's
track it?
worse.
Because I don't. Can you look up how many hours I have on my character?
I just
Well,
closed
yours would
Overwatch.
probably be what? Diva?
Yours is at least
Yeah,
200
mine
hours.
is Diva, and yeah, definitely at least 200 hours. On
You're
Diva.
literally just
Yeah.
a Diva one
I think
trick,
it's
Ryan.
like 236 hours. But I haven't been playing tank as much. I've been playing more flex now.
Yeah,
And so, but when I do get tank, I play Diva. But like I've been getting DPS, which I've been playing a lot of Junkrat, and then at Junkrat and Tracer, and then on support, I've been playing a crap ton of Moira. I
oh yeah,
I
you've like
used to
picked up
hate
Moira.
her. I used to
We
hate her
did,
when she came out, but now I've been actually playing her a lot.
yeah, like all of us got on the one night and we just decided to like pick each other's heroes, and
Yeah.
someone gave Ryan Moira.
How he just froze after that
He
too.
froze.
Very
Yeah.
interesting story.
Oh my god.
All right, you guys want to
But
hear
yeah,
mine?
well, no, but basically to finish the story, they gave him Moira, and then Ryan is now a Moira main, basically.
Yeah. On
All
He
support.
fell
I'm
in,
back.
he fell in love with Moira.
Yeah. When I play support, I play Moira now.
I just
Mine
What
There you
about
go.
you,
I
Evan?
finished the
between
story for you, so we're moving on.
between
thank you.
the era of Overwatch 1 to
You're
Overwatch
welcome.
2, I have over 500 hours on Tracer.
I don't
Charles
think
has a
that's
lot of
that bad.
hours.
I don't think that's
That's not as
bad.
bad as
I
Hog.
have another
Any hours
480
on
on
Hog,
Genji.
you're getting
Check-
flamed.
Check.
I know it.
I think I
Check
had like 100 hours on
check
Winston, and then
Charles's
I was like, I'm
hours.
done with this game.
His is
character.
Doomfist.
Charles,
Easily.
sure.
Charles
Is
plays
probably
so much
It's
Doomfist.
Genji,
either
right?
Doomfist or Reaper.
It's Genji.
It's
No,
gotta
it's
be.
Genji.
Oh
Oh
yeah, no,
shit,
it
it's
is Genji,
Genji.
because
yeah,
you
he
put
used to
100
be
hours
a,
in
he used to
Genji,
be
and
a
then
Genji main. I forgot
you
about
put
that.
100
Yeah,
hours
I
in Genji and then
forgot
quit.
about it.
I don't blame him. Genji
I remember
sucks
Charles
now.
had a fuck
Yeah,
ton
the
of
I have
Yeah.
hours.
480
so
hours
bad.
on Genji. I'm pissed what they did with him.
I kind of want to play Overwatch now.
I don't
I
want to
got
play Overwatch.
I don't
I'm,
Well, guess
either.
what? We aren't.
you know when you you eat so much of one food and then you get sick from it, and then now whenever you think about that food, you just get sick every time you think about it. That's me with Overwatch.
Yeah.
Anytime I think about Overwatch, I'm just like,
Overwatch,
ugh.
Overwatch isn't a food.
Well,
For real,
you're gonna
for
be a
my
real.
food in a
God.
minute if you don't start running.
Okay.
Oh, bro, relax.
Another hit
Start
game
running, Michael.
I want to mention that we saw on the Game Awards. I want to mention up Cyberpunk, the new DLC coming out, and what was
that looks
wrong with the
dope.
trailer.
Yeah,
I
that
haven't
looks.
I've
seen
never
it yet.
played
Was it good?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it looks really
The
good.
trailer had a character black facing in it.
Yeah, that's
did,
right. I remember
yeah.
that trailer. I remember us watching that
Yeah.
on the
He's a Marine.
Microsoft.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
because
was
it
a
was like one of
black
the.
facing.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like kind of cuts, and then she was like a bartender or something, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Something.
she was
Yeah.
a white lady and then turned into a black lady.
Yeah, she did some like fucking cybernetic shit. Oh my god.
Well,
Mhm.
speaking of DLCs, have we heard anything about the Elden Ring DLC coming out?
No.
No.
Still
Nope, we did not
nothing?
hear shit.
There's a DLC for Elden Ring.
We know it exists. We haven't heard anything about it yet.
Dang.
I'm looking this shit up right
Shadow
now.
or Shadows of the Erd Tree.
Ooh,
I'm so
is
excited
it
for
paid
it.
DLC?
It is a paid
Yeah.
Oh,
DLC.
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, fuck that. I ain't playing that shit. I played a
I-
lot of Elden
I
Ring.
think
Oh my
it's. I
god.
think
We
it's
all did.
discussed. I think
Everybody
it's
did.
discussed to be like
Yeah.
$30. I think.
Yeah, but
But
like
it's like half a game worth of
in terms of
content.
like gameplay and story, we don't know shit about it. I hope it's gonna be something to do with what's his face? Melania's brother, Mikola.
Mikola, yeah.
Mikola.
Mikola
Yeah,
Ultra.
I hope it's gonna be something to do with him, cause
Yeah,
like
it looks
just
like it looks like from the website, it's like Mikola, Melania, something like that.
I swear,
don't
if
know, that
we
was the
get
first thing I
another
clicked on, I was like,
overpowered weapon like the Rivers of
Rivers of
I
Blood.
swear to
Oh, no,
God, if we
that-
get another broken weapon like that, especially if I wanted to do PvP casually
apparently,
and stuff.
well, yeah, apparently
I
it got
love my
nerfed into the
Rivers of Blood.
ground.
It did.
Mhm.
It did. Hardcore.
I tell you
Rivers
what,
of
they
Blood,
probably will just to bring players back into the game.
Before people figured out like what weapons were the best in the
Maybe.
game, I would just spam Moonveil, and then I switched to Moonlight Greatsword.
Well,
I think I've
I
always
will
kind of
say.
just had like a dex strength build. It's
Yeah,
just
and then
so
after that I switched to
reliable.
Bloodhound's Fang, and then I just used that for the rest
Yeah.
of my time playing Elden Ring. Actually, no, because I did recently. While I was in the hospital for epiglottitis, which I did talk about in I think our last
Yeah,
podcast
last
The
episode.
last
episode.
one.
Yeah, I talked about it in the last episode. While I was in there, I was talking about like, because I was so bored, I just like was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a new Elden Ring character. So I literally just like went into a
Hmm.
Google Doc like on my laptop while I'm in my while I'm in a hospital bed, and I'm just like writing out like all the like all the things I need to like get for this character and like where to put my stats. Just like I don't know, just like kind of like grindy shit without playing the game. Grinding the game without playing the game,
Pull
basically.
a Kiriko and farm all the small stuff. Oh
What?
yeah.
What?
What?
You guys never seen Sword Art Online?
I have
No.
actually. I have actually.
I said pull a Kiriko wherever you kill all the small things. That way you're high enough level, and then you just go destroy every boss. Just
Oh,
breeze
What?
Sword Art.
through
Okay,
it.
yeah, Sword Art. Okay.
Well, before I hit this game, there's a different game I want to talk about that's on the rise, and only is going up. It's a game called Only Up. I don't know if you guys
Oh
have
my
heard of
god.
this. I've been
Yeah,
seeing
it's
Trey
pretty
play it a
fun.
lot. It's a big streamer game right now. You guys know the game Getting Over It?
I've been
It
playing
is.
up
It,
up
it is
only
a.
up.
It is a three. The closest equivalent to it is a 3D. You can actually walk around version of Getting Over It. You
And you
basically
can
Yeah.
just have to.
slow
Yeah,
motion.
you have to just go up, 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 and up, and you just have to keep jumping until you reach the top of the map. There's been speed runs already. The fastest time I've seen is 48 minutes. But it's possible someone's beaten it already.
Oh my god. That,
Yeah.
that reminds me of a game. Fuck, what was that game called? It was the dude in the bucket with a hammer, and he had to
That's
like
Getting.
get
Yeah, that's
that's
Getting Over It.
that's getting over it.
getting over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing only up, and it is stressful.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the
I've seen some
slow
things
mo
about it,
stuff, it
but
just adds
And dude,
the
if you
pressure.
just fall down as hard as Call of Duty does, which is the next game we're going to, it completely
oh,
ruins it, man. Um, if you guys don't know, Call of Duty is on a massive decline. Right now, it's getting bad, especially
because they didn't
because of
release shit in their
streamers.
update. They didn't do anything in their
Dude,
update, which basically killed their game.
their updates are terrible. They don't really do
So much was
much.
riding on the most recent update to like add more movement and shit, and they didn't
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Yeah.
I need movement or I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Along with that, the exclusive skins for Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx did not release. I'm not going to get into the whole Twitter side of that part. I'm just going to skip that part. Essentially, Nick Merckx tweeted something, and you guys can go look that up for yourself. But in response to that, Activision and Call of Duty, they decided to remove his bundle, which then led to Dr. Disrespect, a big friend and streamer of theirs, uninstalling Call of Duty completely off of his computer, and then Tim the Tatman, who also had his bundle, requested it to be removed. And ever since that whole debacle has ended, they have not played Call of Duty since then. And there was times where I would go into Tim's stream, and he would be talking about the situation. He wouldn't even mention Call of Duty's name at all. He would you could tell he was talking about the game, but he wouldn't reference the name of the game when he was talking about it. So recently, there's been a big, definitely player shift in that, and because I feel like most of COD's player base reflects the streamer viewership, and that's kind of what we've been seeing a lot recently with games anyway, is that most of their player base is only playing the game because the big guys are playing it. And so when you have those big streamers leaving your game, their audience is going to leave with you, especially when they're massive supporters of that streamer. So when you got three of the biggest COD streamers leaving your game, their entire audience is going to agree with them and not go and play your game anymore. Um,
That's what they did with Apex back when they weren't updating COD
Yeah.
and stuff like that. They all went to go play Apex and then came back, and so
Yep.
did everyone else.
So a lot of players have been joining Apex. They've been getting back into Fortnite. X Defiant now is in open beta. So
No, it's
they've
closed
Actually,
now.
Is it
yeah,
closed beta
yeah.
now?
I
Yeah,
think it ended.
It
Didn't
closed
it
the
end though?
23rd. I played as much as I could and got to level 20. Ooh.
So yeah, so
Hmm.
X Defiant has been seeing a lot of playership because of that also. which also surprisingly has good movement mechanics. COD being
There's
a lot
not
of
that
favorite
much
too.
movement.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
their
yeah.
movement is like old
There's
COD,
real.
where it's
It
just
is.
It's
like
really not
it
that
doesn't
much
slow
movement.
you down. You
Yeah.
just go.
Yeah, and they have a mechanic where if you're sliding downhill, you also go faster. But they don't have like strong
Oh my
mechanics. Like you
god.
can't tap strafe on someone. You
Yeah.
can't bunny hop. It's only like your classic slide, jump, and run.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no characters in the game that apply movement to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it is. It really is just like classic COD. I would compare it to probably Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, that kind of era of COD.
That
Uh,
was like the best
Avery, you've
era.
actually played the game. I've only watched footage of it. What Call of Duty would you compare that to?
honestly, it would be a mix of Modern Warfare 1 and Black Ops 1.
Okay, so
Because the
a bit
gun,
older then.
yeah, there's no futuristic guns whatsoever in the game. It's just your classic military loadout shooter, stuff like that. But the special abilities is what makes it its own unique style, like a lot of uh, hero shooters do. But it's hard to explain it all at once because you got the deniers, attackers, and defender classes and healers. It's just a classic shoot 'em up, basically, for nowadays.
It's got more of like a Battlefield style to it too,
Yeah,
right?
I guess you could say that. Well, no, not really,
In terms
honestly.
of like a
Just
class type thing, because in Battlefield you can have medics and
oh well, yeah, then
guys
yeah,
holding
yeah,
ammo and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
well, also in terms of the streamer side of
Oh yeah.
moving from
Speaking of
that,
streamers,
we can
Oh my
move
god. Yeah.
into Twitch, currently falling apart. Which before we get
Gulp.
to that, I do want to mention I don't believe is Twitch's fault. I do not think it is Twitch, the company of Twitch's fault. I think it is Amazon. Um, the history of Twitch is very interesting. It had a name before, and I don't remember the name of it, but a long time ago, like 10 plus years ago, it was named one thing, and then I believe that company was bought and then rebranded into Twitch. And then Twitch is what we have had up until the Amazon purchase, where Amazon had then purchased Twitch, and Twitch is now a part of Amazon, but still known as Twitch. Um,
Yep. But
and
then
all of
they
that,
also
right?
added stuff where like you can integrate your Amazon Prime to for
Yeah,
like a free
yeah.
subscription to a channel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shit like that.
So I believe the way that that Amazon has structured Twitch from their purchase was you have Amazon that then branches down into Twitch instead of Amazon being Twitch. So Amazon is like, hey, we need you to do these things, get it done. And so I believe that those things are money. I think Amazon is saying, Twitch, you guys got to start making some money, because from the way that the company was structured before, we're not making money. We need to start making money. So they've been adding a bunch of new restrictions and stuff like that. So the main restriction I've seen was their ad restriction. You can only have 3% of an ad. So what that means is that if I were to say be sponsored by a company comes to me, says, "Hey, I want to sponsor your stream. Can you put our logo, our name, etc. On your stream just to kind of flash up on screen every now and then?" A lot of streamers will do that when they have multiple sponsors. It'll show up for about 3 seconds, disappear, and then it would change to the next one. That type of design can only take up 3% of your screen while you're live. And any video-esque ads are basically pointless. You can kind of do them, but it's not really worth it. It's not worth the risk and kind of like the workaround you have to do to get that done. Um, on that side, though, is esports. Esports organizations that like Overwatch League, for instance, these events get sponsors all the time, and so companies will sponsor Overwatch League to display their video ads in between matches during timeouts and all that stuff, right? They can't play those ads anymore. They are completely restricted and just blocked off because of how long those ads are, how much it takes up the screen. All their restrictions prevent that from happening. what Twitch is now doing is they are going to be implementing a ad window. If this makes any sense, follow me here. I believe what they're going to eventually do, this is not confirmed, but I believe what they're eventually going to do is that 3% is going to end eventually. And they're going to have this confirmed part of a ad window where these companies are going to sponsor with Twitch, and so you then take whatever ads they're displaying and then putting them on your stream, and that's how you make ad revenue instead of companies going to the streamer and sponsoring them. That's essentially what's going to happen in the future, and Twitch has confirmed that ad window thing along with those restrictions. So a lot of streamers have been switching platforms off of Twitch. The current big one has been XQC, who signed, I believe it was a two-year 1 million or two-year $100 million
Some
deal.
crazy deal.
Some ridiculous deal. I think he even makes more
Yeah.
money than Aiden Ross now.
Yeah,
On Kick.
XQC was he was paid $100 million by Kick to sign a contract to stream on Kick. Not even full time. He could stream on basically whatever platform he wanted, was what the contract said. Like
No
he
kidding.
could like stream it.
So
Yeah,
they're
he could
not
stream
even
on.
restricting him. Okay.
Yeah, like as long as he's like, as long as his as like Kick is like his main platform, you know.
Right. And I believe that's because streamers like Ninja, he was talking about how another part of Twitch which also goes with Kick, you cannot now multi-stream. You can't do that with Twitch anymore. If you are, I believe, partnered, I don't know if it affects affiliates, but if you're partnered, you cannot multi-stream at all. So Ninja would live stream on Twitch, and then he would also have his live stream portrayed to TikTok. And so people can watch him play on TikTok while he's still streaming on Twitch. Twitch is implementing a rule that you can't do that anymore. You have to be on Twitch. That's your only platform you're allowed to stream on, which is part of, I believe, part of why Kick included that in XQC's contract, meaning that XQC could stream on Kick as being his main platform while also allowing him to go to YouTube and to TikTok and other platforms to do that same multi-streaming while keeping Kick as its main platform, as which that money is what it's for. So Twitch is not is definitely struggling now.
Doesn't sound very good.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
try Kick tomorrow.
Yeah, Twitch is kind of on the back foot
Mhm.
currently, as of late.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know, but I feel
going
like
well.
because Twitch still already has so many like big streamers. You know,
Well,
I
yeah,
feel
I
like
mean, there are going to be big streamers that are going to stay committed to Twitch. Pokimane is one of them.
yeah, so
Yeah. Still dumb that they're
It-
like just cutting like I don't know. It just seems like they're cutting a
they're just,
lot of
yeah, they're just
revenue
cutting revenue
off to
splits, yeah.
streamers,
yeah.
and
Well,
it
ever
just doesn't
since
seem like Twitch is like a good startup streaming service anymore.
well no, isn't the kick split like the ad rev split, isn't it like 95-5
It's
or
95 to
something?
5%. Yeah, the
Yeah,
streamer
that's
makes
great. Yeah, that's great.
95% revenue, and they're going to be soon implementing a $16 an hour streaming thing. So what they're going to
Oh
do
yeah, so like you
is
can
you
literally
have to
get
meet
paid to
two
stream.
requirements. You have to make two different requirements and or another one. So it's like you have to meet this, you have to meet this, and then you have to meet either this or this. And then you can actually be eligible to make $16 an hour while streaming on the Kick platform. They haven't implemented that yet.
Well,
But
I can't wait to try Kick, bro.
We've seen shots from, I think Trainwreck actually tweeted it out and has been talking about that.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Kick is the
Twitch
new streaming platform.
Yeah, Twitch has some competition now.
I'm starting tomorrow on Kick.
Crazy, like how
I
Twitch
am.
is like a much larger company, and they're doing this shit because they want more revenue.
It's corporate, man. It's because of corporate.
It is.
I'm
It's
telling
dumb.
you. Corporate came in and said, "Hey, you're not making enough money. This is Amazon.
CEOs
We need more
just,
money."
yeah, CEOs just making horrible decisions.
for sure.
I mean,
Okay.
horrible in terms of people watching the
Right,
content and
on a
actually
consumer
using the
base.
service. They just want money.
Yeah, on a
It's
consumer side,
stupid.
it's not good at all, and it's definitely killing viewership on the platform.
Yeah. Sad.
Uh,
All right. Well, how long have we been going for?
We've been going for about an hour. There's one thing I want to talk about that I just put in that chat. So this is going to be for our podcast. I don't know if we're gonna make it a part of like as is like its own little podcast thing, or if we just want to make it like its own content. I am going to be creating a D&D online campaign for us, but here's the catch on this. I'm not doing it how we used to do it, where we all used to, like we would just plan session by session by session. I'm actually going to write out the entire campaign, and then we're going to go through it.
Oh, so you're just writing a pre-written.
Right, and of course you're still going to have the ability to do your, normal D&D stuff, where y'all can go do out and do your own things. But in terms of the orb that is the story
You're just
arc,
gonna try and you're gonna write a story, and we're just gonna try and follow it
yeah,
along with our
so like the big bad is going to be the big bag no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play D&D.
So
that's okay.
you're gonna
D&D
have
easy.
you're gonna have the main
It's
quest.
very easy.
You're gonna have your main quest
You're gonna
that
play a
is going
barbarian.
to evolve, you guys, having to complete tasks and eventually having like this whole backstory with a villain, and at the end of the campaign you got to defeat this big villain, right? But you're still gonna have the ability to branch off and do your D&D experiences with side quests, just going off and exploring on your own. You're gonna be able to do all those things, but at the sphere of a quest line, a main quest line,
Yeah.
you're gonna have that storyline also.
Question: how long do you think this will go on?
How long will it go on, or how long would it take?
How long? How long?
Both.
Like,
I want to hear both answers.
Okay, so in terms of how long it'll take, in terms of writing, I have no idea. I honestly just kind of came up with this like a week
Okay.
ago, and I
that's
didn't
up to you.
know. I didn't want to start writing on it because I wanted to see how you guys felt about it. So I'm gonna start writing it probably tomorrow, to be honest with you. I'm not doing anything tomorrow, so I'm just gonna
Yeah, and maybe if you want to
Alright.
throw it down in the comments, if you want to see us do that, that would be.
do that.
Hey,
Throw,
yo,
throw
Yeah,
some
go ahead.
new
ideas.
critical
Yeah, leave-
role. New critical
Throw some
role.
ideas at
We're
me.
gonna be
give us
better
give
than
us some
critical
feedback.
role.
Yeah, throw some ideas at me that we could use for like a side
Why'd you
quest
throw
or
ping
something. That'd be
pong?
cool.
We're never gonna be better than critical role, guys.
Nah, that's
We
not
are
how
gonna
I
be
see us
Critical
taking
Role.
this. I just think it's a good thing
It's
that
called.
we can
It's
do.
just for fun.
Yeah. Um.
Just for
And in
fun.
terms of like the length of the campaign, I don't know. I honestly,
Yeah.
I don't even think we'll be able to do it this summer. I
Oh
think it'll
shit.
it'll
Okay.
take that long.
So it's like something down the road.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely a futuristic project. But I'd like to get it written and finished by the end of the summer. That way that we can kind of settle back into
Alright.
school life and back to normalcy
That's
of
true.
school.
Me.
And then we can kind of, if we want to, then plan around making sessions within our schedules.
That's true. Ryan, another thing.
Making me want to play D&D.
How bad do you want to DM?
Not
Do you want to be the story writer, or do you just want to play D&D?
a bit of both, to be honest with you.
Because I have a whole
ODM?
world built right now that's literally just set aside, waiting to be played.
As in, it's
So
done.
yeah, dude, I have a whole ass map. I can keep going along.
Like
I've showed friends this before.
I haven't heard anything.
I
about
haven't.
this.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about
I
this
have
either.
a yeah,
We've
I have a
talked
whole
about it
ass
once
map.
before.
I got.
I'm literally in your D&D group, and you haven't told me about this. Like what?
I've been lore writing in my spare time,
You know
creating
what, though?
shit.
I have a
So
fantastic idea. If we want to, we can run yours while I'm creating mine.
We
I
could do that.
mean,
So that'll
yeah, we'd have to
give
figure
That'd be
something
interesting.
out.
yeah. So like if because that'll give the
This'll
opportunity
be
for me
more
to
of a
play as a character while also being able to
well, also
incorporate
doing that.
the
Cool.
writing.
Yeah.
I think we could do that.
I think we could pull something like that off. Another
Is it more of like a
thing,
long term or a short term?
this might be just like for the summer.
Yeah, mine would be a long term deal. Mine would
Yeah,
not be
because
just like a short term type campaign.
we got Trey's campaign running,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna be running this one, which is gonna be online. I don't know.
I
I'll
think
figure something out.
I think we
I
could
Let
do
us know in the
also,
comments.
yeah.
honestly, I think
Woohoo!
what we could do is if we started running yours and because it's a short term, we could run yours and then we start mine when yours ends, even though it won't be completely finished, but I'll still have multiple sessions written out by then.
All right,
Yeah, so it's
Bert.
like we go from the end of Michael's campaign just straight
Cool.
into the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Ryan, I will, if you like really, really, really wanted to, I can like send you the world that I had built, and you can like build your own stories and shit with whatever I've had written. Or if you want, you can just build your own. I don't care. Whatever, we can have fun.
What's it built on?
What's it built on?
Yeah.
It is I have it on Wonder Draft right now. I have the whole map. I have some docs
Okay.
that have some information and shit like that. But hell, that gives me something to do. Instead of
I like the idea of running your short term to then begin my long term, and it gives me time to develop my story. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm down for
D&D,
that.
baby, it's coming
Yeah, that's
soon.
D&D's
D&D's coming soon.
So what's the
All
plan
right.
on that? Are we gonna record our sessions, or are we gonna
Probably.
like
Absolutely.
stream?
We could do both if we wanted to.
We can stream
We
it.
could.
I can take
Oh, yeah.
because I can stream and record at the same time, so
Yeah, for sure.
I can take that VOD or
I'll stream
have
on
it stream
Kick.
and record at the same time
Hell
and
yeah.
upload that. We can do that. I
I'd
think
have to
that's
like
actually
put
a pretty good
everything and like
idea.
organize
It
everything
would
as
also
well, cause like
emphasize going to the live stream because then you get the content early because YouTube would be delayed by
that's true.
by a few days. So if you're there for the sessions, then there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty
And then
much how
if we
Critical Role does it.
yeah, if we wanted to do this, we're probably gonna have to do like short sessions as well. We
absolutely.
can't just do like
Yeah,
6-hour
probably
sessions, right?
two,
Yeah,
Fucking
it would,
2 or 3
smack tab
hours.
right there.
yeah,
2 or 3
absolutely.
I'd
hours
say
would be good.
3 to 4 hours at most.
Probably like 2 or 3, yeah.
I would
Maybe
say
4.
yeah, I'd say keep it 3. But then that way we can maybe do it more often. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. 2 to 3, 4 if we get into like a really long combat that wasn't supposed to take as long. Then I could see it kind of leaking into the 4-hour mark. But yeah, I think 2 to 3 is definitely that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Did you hurt your elbow?
Yeah, I hit my hand like on the edge of my desk, like right on my knuckle.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well, thank you
on
everybody
that
for
note,
thanks everybody
hey,
for
we're gonna
watching the
end this
podcast.
episode,
Greatly
baby. Let's
appreciated.
go. D&D, we're coming
Yeah,
in.
let
We're
us know if
coming
you
in.
want to let us know if you want to see some D&D stuff. It doesn't matter because we're probably gonna do it anyways.
True.
But
I
you
don't know what
know,
I'm getting
gotta get
myself
that
into.
Yeah,
gotta get
fuck
that
you
engagement
guys.
up. Yeah, thanks everybody for listening and watching the podcast.
Shout out
me
to
IDs.
Tom.
You can find us pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts.
You say you need
I
Great
IDs.
time.
ideas. Shut up.
You need IDs. Link your
I
IDs
need
in the
IDs.
description below.
Please do it.
Yeah,
Do
I
it.
mean,
Do it.
I need
Do
ideas.
it.
fucking go at it in the comments.
Do it
Do whatever the
now.
hell you want.
Also,
Don't do
next
it.
episode, next couple episodes, we're either bringing Mike or bringing Tom on. Either.
Dude, we
Yes.
gotta get Tom.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
get
I
Tom.
No, we
promised.
gotta
Shout out
get
to
Mike.
Tom.
We have
Mike
to do.
and Tom.
I feel like we have to do Mike first because I promised him I'd bring.
Yes.
That we
Yeah,
bring
yeah,
him on.
yeah.
We'll do Mike and then we'll do Tom.
Oh,
Oh yeah, and he's gotta
gonna be
like.
so
We
happy
gotta.
now that there's another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like our number one
Bro's,
fan right now.
Bro's ecstatic.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well,
See
thanks
y'all
everybody
later.
for listening and watching. All right, take care, everybody. Like and subscribe.